Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to Rimworld Ascension, Episode 19. As always, MODLIST is in the description if you want to play with the same nonsense I do. Let's get into it. Alright, so, today's plan. We're getting to the medieval era. That's the goal. This episode will be the episode that we get there. So we need to do around about 29 total research projects in order to advance from Neolithic to the medieval era. So we're already pretty close to that. I'm pretty sure. Let me just count these up real quick, and I will then tell you how many we have. Alright, I counted them up. We should only have to do one more research project, and then we should get to the medieval era. And so, while we could do obelisks and get it done faster, I actually would like to have cocoa production before going to the medieval era, as that's another thing we can use to keep our colonists in a bit better mood. Another thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing off these constructions, hopefully, by the end of the episode. That way we can move everyone out of the barracks and into their own independent living quarters. I feel like that would help out a lot with keeping everyone a bit happier. Despite the rooms being rather tight, they are relatively nice. And everybody gets their own independent bathrooms, which we should probably set up to link up with the bed, so that only the people who own the bed can use the bathroom. So I think the first person that we shall give a bed shall be Myers. We're simply going to go down this list. It makes things a bit easier. Now, I remember a few episodes back... fiancé. So, can they share a room yet? Still they cannot, which is strange. They should be able to, I believe. Let's see. Spouse only strict. Interesting. I assume this is the one that's preventing us from making them share beds, so they must need to be married as opposed to only fiancé. So then we must wait for that. Colonists can gain expertise. Storch can gain expertise. Ooh, in what? Despite being the minor, he's actually gotten high enough intellectual skill now. And we're going to have him pick up research. So with this, every single level he gets in this will increase his research speed by 5%. I believe is what will happen. Which means that we will be absolutely blitzing through this. I mean, episode just started, and we already have 200 research knocked off this. I'm also been thinking about more of the design idea for the keep area. So I'm thinking that while the majority of the keep will be square, we will construct walls like so. What kind of roof is above right here? Okay, so we will need to put this wall here then, I believe. Yes. So this will allow us to have a little tiny interior courtyard within the castle itself. And then we just do this. So that way, while the keep is square, it will have its own little internal garden in which crops can be produced for... So that if something happens to our main crop field, there's a smaller one that is kept within. Or we could turn it into a garden, even. Looks like 2 more of the structures have been finished. So we will assign Storch. And we will assign, where is it, latch. Make sure that we establish that these bathrooms are for their given rooms. There we go. So now that's 3 of our colonists or settlers or whatever you want to call them that have individual housing. Apple is doing a good job on maintaining the Anima Nexus tree for our ambrosia production. Who knows, maybe soon we'll plant the second one and get one of our other colonists to start making even more. Now I am noticing that mood seems to be dropping pretty quickly, which is worrying, as I am quickly running out of my solutions for that. Okay, so Storch is the only one researching right now, and look how fast it's going up. It's going up faster now than it has ever before. So his bonuses are definitely helping us out. So definitely going to get to the medieval era this episode. Alright, let's see. So I believe all the way up to latch. We'll deal with that in just a moment. But now we need to assign Kata to this room. There we go. Now there is a mad duck coming at us. So we will simply send... Who's close with a fire? Oh, it's a duck. We probably don't even need a firearm. We can probably just go hit it with a sword and call it a day. Oh, a blood moon. Interesting. Well, we don't have any sanguiphages, so that won't affect us. There we go. Duck has been dealt with. Ooh, an animal transport pod. A Ripper Hound! Okay. So, another Ripper Hound. Now, it is only got a crack on the spine, so it likely will recover on its own. But we might be able to recover it and also try to tame it. Now, I believe our other one is also a male. It is, so they will be unable to breed to make more, but having 2 of them would make our lives a bit easier. Especially given that we're going to eventually have to remove all these infested ship chunks from around the base. And that is going to be a crazy battle to deal with. Making good progress on the beds. They're not very high quality, given that they're being constructed by our newest constructor. Meaning that they are going to be of about the same quality that a lot of our old beds are. But it is acceptable. We can work with it. Storch is wearing really weird clothing. Let's see. Uncovered groin. Yes, perhaps you should wear something. Doesn't like wearing tribal clothing. Interesting. Give this one to Herring. And now Herring has their own little house. It's not much, but it is theirs. And the research is almost done. 30 more research points and it will be complete. And there it is. Ooh, this is new. Which mod adds this? I don't know. But this must mean that we gain cornerstone points by advancing to new tech levels. So, we can now do that. That is something we can do. I think, though, that we should save that for the end of the episode. So, while yes, I could activate this now, advance us to the next iteration. I think that it would be a good way to close out the episode. So, we will instead continue doing these, because some of these are things that we will need. See, now, if we look at this, we are now tech level medieval, but we're going to save this for the end and only continue doing Neolithic projects until next episode. Because, like I said, there are a couple of these I would like to get, like beacons, wood-fired crematoriums, road building, maybe even shields, considering we're going to need to go into using melee weapons pretty soon. I'm also thinking about, if we go in here and we go to, actually we can just search it. No. Huh. Oh, it's in here somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Yao's Combat. I am very much so thinking of turning on this system, so I think next episode we're going to turn this on. And that will mean that our guns will have limited ammo, and we will have to resort to using medieval weaponry. Which will make things a lot more interesting, as then the guns we have with ammo will become very important to save for just the right moment, as well as incentivizing us to use the proper tech level weapon. Also, we're out of food. Don't know when that happened, or even how it happened, but we are out of food completely. Which means time for mass murder of all living animals on the map, because we need food. It also means that we're going to turn that back on to allow meat, as well as make sure that everyone who can is set to hunt. Because the corn is only around about 30% grown. Yeah, average plant age, 30%. So we need to go and start doing that because we have a lot of people and they need a lot of food. There we go. We got a lot of extreme break risks right now. Seems to just be a variety of negatives. Randy Random has blessed us with a psychic soothe for females. That's good. That'll hopefully help bring their moods up a bit. Plus 16. Alright, that's pretty good. Megasloth 1, Revenge. But it is Calhoun. There we go. And another room was finished, and I didn't even notice it. Alright, so let's see. So we got herring. So this one would go to a gear. Then we have 2 more, which will leave us with 1 extra room. Well, the rescued Ripper Hound did not willingly join us, but that does not mean that we cannot tame it, which is still the plan. Although it looks like it did wander off the map, unfortunately. So we will have to find... Oh, wait, no, it didn't. It's right there. Ripper Hound 1. No, sorry, here, Nobu. Yeah. So they did join us. We just tamed them. That's why that triggered. Okay. Well, that's good. So now we have 2 Ripper Hounds. Which means that one of the first things I'm going to want to research is going to be the, I believe it's just called, armored animals. Yeah. So this is going to be one of the first things we're going to want to research then, because that will allow us to armor up our Ripper Hounds and make them more survivable. As well as, technically, we could armor the cats, but I don't feel like the cats are going to be very combat effective. But they do make for great help around the colony, so we'll probably keep them around because they can haul and they can rescue, meaning that in a firefight, we won't have to worry about that. Herring is now on a food binge. We cannot afford to have herring on a food binge right now. So, let us locate herring. And dispatch Calhoun to calm them down before they eat what little food we have. We just have to hold out till the cornfield's done. And also, we can begin growing, I don't know, some rice or something to help supplement it. And we can put a rice field, like, here. And that should help supplement our lacking food stores. Oh, geez, you're injured. What happened? You got into a fight. Ah, with one of your own people. Okay. I was worried you got into a fight with one of mine. It does not appear to be that way. And the final house is finished. This one goes to Apple. And there we go. All my colonists now have their own individual rooms. And the final house has been constructed. No one to use it right now, as I don't believe... Yeah, nobody else has been assigned to the barracks, which nobody else is in the barracks, which means that they have all been assigned to their own individual houses. What is this? Tempting, but I'll have to pass. So that means that Enbon has now successfully finished the construction of the new habitation district, I guess, is what you could call it. Which means that we now need to install floors in the rest of these places. Pretty simple. We're just going to do just basic floors with the wood. Ah. A mech cluster causing weather. Actually, we also still need to finish off the basic construction of our kill box. I forgot about that. Like that. Put a door here. Structure. Embrasure. And what do we have in security that we could put in here? We got some Scorpios. Ah, they can be handheld? Light enough to be used as a handheld weapon at the cost of firing speed. Very effective against enemy infantry. Well, I think we'll put 2 of those up there. As well as we will put some cavalry spikes in order to dissuade people from trying to just walk up to there. And we'll just throw a bunch of wooden spike traps down, just kind of randomly, just to potentially get some of the larger groups. Like that. We can also put some of these Scorpios into these areas here, which will give us even more defensive capabilities. Of course, they're first going to construct these floors, which really shouldn't take all too terribly long. And it looks like the psychoid's being harvested, and the beacons have been researched. Now that beacons are researched, let's go with wood-fired crematorium, road building, heavy shields, and legionary armaments. That ought to cover all of our bases. Ooh, a combat supplier. Very interesting. Well, let's wait for them to get a little closer, and then we can see if they have anything we want. Looks like all the psychoid's been harvested and is getting replanted. That's good. We were running a little low on psych IT. Now see, this is going to be the one problem once this area gets filled with traps, is that caravans are going to have trouble getting through here. Also, I just noticed that there's a couple spots where there are openings where I could put some traps. There we go. Just a couple extra traps. Hopefully that'll help catch some of the people who would wish to attack us. This is the problem with placing them randomly, though, is there sometimes ends up being those little gaps. Okay, looks like they have entered our colony, so now we can go trade with them more efficiently. Oh, another person's passing through. Alright, let's see what these people got. Okay. They're willing to buy our ambrosia, that makes sense. As well as some of our less useful things. A steel warhammer. Very nice. I think we'll be taking that. And to make some money, we'll just give them a bunch of ambrosia. We will sell them 272 ambrosia, make a bunch of money, and get ourselves a new hammer for it. Turning all of our ambrosia into money that we can actually use. The Psychic Soothe is ending. Well, that's unfortunate, but I think we've just about stabilized our food situation. Albeit only just barely, but it is relatively stabilized. Another colonist can gain expertise. A gear. Excellent. Let's see. So, higher taming chance, better animal yield, better hunting, or higher chance to train animals. I'm very tempted by handling and ranching. I think long-term, though, ranching would be better, as it will increase our overall product from our farm animals. Ah, the new relic area has also been completed. Or the areas for the relics. Now all we need to do is put in the actual floors for it. Which I believe are... Actually, I don't remember which one they are. Rough vertical path. Which is this one. There we go. Ah, looks like the floors were finished. I didn't even notice that. I really need to pay more attention. Well, since the floors are finished, we can now begin the process of moving over all these workbenches. We'll leave this one here, though, because it's close to where we store all that stuff. Now, all those workbenches are going to need a couple of wall-mounted torches to light up the structure. And ambrosia addiction. Oh no, that's so detrimental to us. And we'll put a couple stools in as well, so that it's a little more effective work environment. Yeah, another thing I'm thinking of doing is extending this wall a bit so that we can have a little more construction space over here, as well as pushing this wall out along here to give us a little more area for farming. Really, we just need just a little bit more space in general as we're starting to expand and, you know, take up what space we have. And we finished researching the wood-fired crematorium. Meaning that we are now researching road building. Which isn't really all too important. It'll just allow us to construct roads on the map. But it will be useful up until we get cars. And even when we get cars, it'll still be kind of useful, because it'll mean that we move a little bit faster. Now, I am also noticing we're running a bit low on steel, so we'll just mine out that steel vein right there. Ah, look at that. So we can just pick up scorpions, huh? Apparently they're quite good against infantry, so they should be pretty useful here. And these embrasures will help protect our colonists from being killed as well. There is no cover in here, so that means that they will have to push all the way through. And while you could technically take cover here, we will still be able to focus fire from all of these into that one spot. So it's going to be a real deadly spot to be. Well, I think that we'll be ending this episode off here. And, as promised, we will select our cornerstone. So let's take a look at all of them. Now, I feel like we should go with whichever one fits what we've gone through the best. So we have increased movement speed, decreased mental break threshold, which means that it'll take more to make our people break. Better psychic sensitivity, toxic resistance, learning rate of all skills increased, sleep faster, eat faster, comfortable in cold, comfortable in hot, immunity to all diseases increased by 10%, injuries healed 10% faster, increased pain threshold, caravans forage more food, filth produced by people is reduced by 25%, rest depletes 10% slower. There's a lot of these. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow, there's a lot of these. Increased research speed. Well, that one definitely would fit, considering how desperately we've been doing that. But I feel like, while some of these are definitely superior to others, like this one, for instance, oh, you just build 10% faster. That's really good. And normally, I would go, personally, with the ones that give me the best bonuses all around. But I feel, based solely off of the challenges and the absolute nightmare that has been getting to this point, I think the Cult of Inner Strength. Our people are more resilient, and their mental break threshold is decreased by 5%. We've had a lot of mental breaks, but not only have we had a lot of mental breaks, we've had a lot of really mentally trying times, or at least I have. I've been suffering through this for a while. So I think we're going to go with that one. And we only get as many as there are tech levels. So, that is the end of the episode. We are now officially in the medieval age, meaning next episode we will finally begin researching medieval technology. So furniture, alcohol, better weapons, better armor, better everything, really. We'll be able to make a lot nicer stuff for our colonists here. As well as we have finished the residential area, we finished the working area, almost finished the sanctuary, as it's called, as you can see here. We have, this is technically done in terms of its effectiveness. We're just building up all the traps now. And we have 2 Ripper Hounds now, which we can now armor up once we research that. So, I am in a good spot. I am ready for the next episode. Next episode will not be a gameplay like this, technically speaking. It will be a recap episode. So episode 20 is a recap. So look forward to that. And I will see you all in the next episode.